I'm Logan Crawford, and right now on Spotlight, we delve into the emotional world of Ben Holland's Love Shouldn't Hurt, breaking the chains of domestic violence. This powerful book takes us through the harrowing journey of Emma, who battles through the depths of an abusive relationship towards recovery and self-discovery. We will witness how this narrative sheds light on the dark corners of domestic violence and the redemptive power of support networks. We're delighted to have this very talented author join us here today on Spotlight. We thank the team at Prime 7 Media for helping us put him in the spotlight today. We ask viewers like you to support writers like him by subscribing to our channel and by purchasing his important book. The links are below this interview. Ben, good to see you here today on Spotlight.
Thank you for having me.
My pleasure. This is a powerful book. Tell us a little bit about your inspiration for this story about Emma.
Emma was a very good friend of mine, and she got into a relationship that I thought was good for her, but it wasn't. And it shows that a lot of men out there are wolves in sheep clothing. So that's what inspired me to write that book. The first thing that starts is they try to separate you from your family and your friends, and then that's when the insecurity sets in.
Yeah.
And after insecurity, then it turns into anger, and then because insecurity and fear is emotions. And once that happens, there goes the relationship. And then after that, then it turns into verbal and physical and then mental abuse.
Exactly. And once the person is isolated, they're on their own. They don't even have a support network anymore to turn to say, like, this guy's being this or this guy's being that. So they're truly alone in their struggle, right?
Uh, uh, yes, 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 yes. And then um, they're looking for something that they never experienced. I have a book that's coming out as it relates to nurturing.
Mhm.
A lot of times, a lot of men that don't get nurturing from their mothers, or women that don't get nurturing from their fathers, women especially, they look for something that to try to find that nurturing spirit that they never got from their fathers. Men, they tend to try to find a woman that has a nurturing spirit. And when they find a woman that has a nurturing spirit, it's hard for them to let go. And that's when the anger and the physical abuse starts.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Um, who is your audience? Who did you write this book for? Who are you hoping benefits from it?
I wrote this book for the world because it's not only in the United States, it's all over the world. Men dominance of women has been taught to them from a very young age. And that's where they get that from.
Yeah, absolutely. Now, you've written a number of books. Tell us a little bit about your writing career.
I I never went to school to be an artist. To be a writer. Everything that I write about, and I have a lot of publishing companies that call me and say, "Well, um, oh, what inspired you, and where'd you get that from?" I write about everyday real shit that's going on in everyone's life.
Hmm. Yeah, yeah. That is impactful for sure when you're talking about the difficulties, the challenges, the trauma that people face. How many books have you written, and what are you working on right now?
I have a total of 22 books
Oh,
with Prime 7 right now.
wow.
Five of them are um, coming out. My very first book is called Can You Imagine? That's the story of my life. But with Prime 7 and the team that I have with those guys, we
Mhm.
revised that book, and it's going to be way better than it was before. And then I have Love Shouldn't Hurt, Breaking the Chains of Domestic Violence. Then I have Breaking Free from Childhood Trauma. And then I have Fentanyl Demic, How Will the World Survive? And then I have another book. It was the fifth book. There's five of them,
Hmm.
but I have 22 coming.
That's amazing. Well, it'll be tough to rattle
Can
off
you
all 22, but that's
can you
great.
imagine? Can you imagine?
Yeah, that is great. Let's talk a little bit about breaking the chains. In the book, you talk about the importance of support groups. Tell us a little bit about how they can help with recovery from abuse.
Well, number one, and it's in several of my books. In a relationship, there's three main components. There's transparency, there's trust, and there's communication. If you don't have that in a relationship, it's not a relationship.
Mm.
Um, with regards to um, relationships, you have a lot of companies out here, or celebrities, people such as Steve Harvey. They talk about these dating sites, but they never talk about what happens after the honeymoon stage is over with,
Mm.
and when either side starts having um, when they start being insecure.
Mm.
Because right after insecurity, then there's that's the lack of trust, and then after that, and it doesn't get any further, then it starts with verbal abuse, and after verbal abuse, then becomes emotional abuse, and after emotional abuse, then it comes physical abuse, and that's when
Mm.
we have to address the problem, and
Mm.
it's a problem all over the world
Mm.
if we don't do anything about it. And I have a program that I want to start. I want to start in elementary school. I want to start in middle school. I want to start in junior high school. I want to start in high school and even colleges,
Mm.
because we have to stop this thing where um, um, just because you say that you're my boyfriend or you're my girlfriend. Remember back in the day? I don't know how old you are, but you
Mhm.
remember when if you liked a girl and you signed a note, you fill out a note and you said, "Will you be my girlfriend? Yes or no?"
Mhm.
You remember that?
Yeah, I do. I do.
It's not like that anymore,
Yeah. Yeah.
and it's turning into it's turning into a lot of these people are the men and women, they're killing each other, and
Mm.
these kids are killing each other. You don't have a right to put your hands on another one person's child,
Mm.
and they think that they own that person, and that's the problem with domestic violence. And domestic violence is a mental issue, and I want to address it as so. So
Mm.
we have to uh, combat the mental aspects of it first. Just
Mhm.
like when people go out and shoot up churches and schools and children and everything like that, we as a society, we need to address the mental issues before we can figure out how we're going to handle it.
Why do you think there's such a crisis in with mental health nowadays with so many people committing violent acts?
Uh, the simple fact is, in my research, um, it's lack of parenting.
Mm.
I have a book that's coming out. It's called "They Never Gave Us a Manual."
Mhm.
They give you a manual for a TV or a car or a refrigerator or washer and dryer, but they never give you a manual to be a parent.
Yeah.
So in that regard, I think a lot of the mental health issues stems from nurturing. I have
Mhm.
a book that's coming out. It's called it talks about nurturing,
Mm.
and that's what happens. Uh, in my research, um, I found out that the nurturing aspect of children, and when there's problems in the household, it can affect the DNA.
Yeah.
Did you know that?
Amazing. I have heard a little bit about that. I think that's kind of groundbreaking science there for sure, but it does imprint upon us, right?
Yeah, correct,
Yeah.
correct. Yeah.
Amazing, amazing. Ben Holland has written a wonderful book. It's called Love Shouldn't Hurt, Breaking the Chains of Domestic Violence. He is a prolific author. He's written 22 books and more are coming. This powerful book, Breaking the Chains, takes a look at the harrowing journey of Emma as she battles through an abusive relationship towards redemption and recovery. It's a powerful book. It's a game changer. It's highly recommended for everyone because we need to shed light on this important issue. Ben, thank you so much for joining us here today on Spotlight.
Thank you, Logan, and look forward to my new book that's coming out. It's called Broken.
Wonderful. Looking forward to that as well. To the folks at home, I'm Logan Crawford, thanking you for your time this time. Until next time on Spotlight.